Hi everyone, welcome back to a new video. Today we are going to solve a new question from top interview 150 of Leetcode, and the question is based on 2 pointers. Question name is subsequence, which is an easy level question, and this is kind of a string question which has the implementation of 2 pointers. So now let's move on to the problem description. So let's see the problem description now. In this question, we have been given two strings, okay? One is S and the other one is T, and we need to return true if S is the subsequence of T, otherwise we need to return false. Now the question arises, what is a subsequence? While solving questions related to string, we will come across two terms. One is substring and the other one is subsequence, okay? So here let's go through what is substring. Okay, so substring is kind of like continuous series of characters. Okay, so let's say here I have ABC. Now in this, A is a substring, AB is a substring, and ABC is substring, BC is substring, B is substring, and C is substring. Okay, so the characters which are coming together, we can include that in a substring. But if we say that we want A and C, it is not a substring. Okay, so a substring is a continuous series of characters that is taken from a string. Okay, now about subsequence. Okay, so the subsequence is a like collection of characters or series of characters, but it is not continuous. Okay, so let's say now we have this this string only ABC. So out of this, if I take AC, it is a subsequence. If I take B and C, it is also subsequence, which means that every substring can be a subsequence, but all the subsequence cannot be a substring. Okay, so if I say that like A is also a subsequence, AC is also subsequence, but if you take C and A, it is not a subsequence. Okay, so the order should be in the same direction. Okay, if ABC is a string, out of that A and C can be a subsequence, but CA is not a subsequence. Okay, so you need to maintain the order of the string. Here if we take this string, now if we take A, B and D, this is a subsequence. Okay, but if we take H and A, it is not a subsequence. Okay, I hope you are clear with the differences between the substring and a subsequence. Now let's move on to the question. Okay, so let me clear this out. Now in this question we have been given that we have been given a string ABC, and the other string that we have been given is AHPGDC. Now the thing is, we need to return true if these characters lie in this T string. Okay, and the order should be same. Okay, so if A is coming after B, or if B is coming after A, then in this string also B should come after A only, it should not come before. Okay, so once I start the iteration, I have to maintain the order. Okay, now in this question also, now let's see the other question. Here in the first one we had A, we saw that we have A in the other string also, then we came across B, in the other string also we had B, in this also we have C, in this also we have C. So this will return true as it is a subsequence. Now let's see this string. We see that we have A in this string, so we come across T and we see that we have A in this string. Now we see we have X after this. Now we will start the iteration, or we will check if we have X in T or not. So while iterating, we see that we don't have any X in this strings T. So this S is not a subsequence of T. Okay, although C is lying in this T, but all the characters should match. Okay, so this is what we are supposed to check here. Now the easiest or the optimal, or what we can say is the one of the approach that I will share is using 2 pointers only. Before that, let's see the constraint that we have been given. We have been told that thus this length of the string that we have, it will lie from 0 to 100. Okay, so there can be an empty string also. Now the length of T is like it can start from 0 and it will be going till 10 power 4. Okay, so there is a chance that t can be a long string. Now we have been told the other thing is, it is focused that s and t both will contain lower cases, so we don't have to make changes in the like we don't have to convert the string into uppercase or lowercase, as it is given that it will always be in lowercase only. Now let's move on and see the approach. So the approach that we will have here is, while seeing the question only we will understand that we need to iterate on both the strings together, right? So how do we do that? So let's see. Now we have this string. Okay, so the like most of the time, or we can say if we have a substring, okay, or we have a subsequence, there will be a chance that this will be either smaller or equal to, and even if it is greater, then if the s is greater than t, then obviously we will be getting a false result. Okay, so we will not have to like compare the lengths right now, we will just see how to move on with the pointers. Okay, so we will be using one pointer to iterate in s and the other pointer to iterate in t. Okay, so let's say I am using I as iterator and j as here. Now my main focus will be to reach the end of the s string, right? If I reach the s string, end of the s string, that means that I have found all the characters in my t string, right? All the like all the characters are present in the t string, and like let's say I have x here. Okay, I start iterating from here. Okay, so I am starting from here and I will be comparing both the characters. So now let's say this a is present in t, fine, then I will move this j forward. Okay, so I am moving this forward. Now I will come here. Now I will compare if this x is like there here like in this string or not, right? So this x is like not matching with the character here, so we will again move forward. Again we will check if this b is equals to this x or not. It is not. Again we will move forward, then we will compare these both characters. If it is equals to x or not, it is not. So again we will compare here, and then we will move forward and check here. Once we reach the end of this character, okay, which means this x is not present in the loop. So once I have reached the end of this string, right, once I have reached the end of this string, and this I, okay, this I that I am using to iterate on this string, it is not reaching the end of this string, which it means that this is not a subsequence, right? Now if I take the other example that we had, which is a b c and t was given as a h b g t c, right? Now if I start iteration from here, so first characters are same, we will move forward in this also and in this also, right? Now I will check if this b is equals to this character or not. It is not. So I will move forward and I will see if this b is equals to b or not. It is, right? So we got our first character and second character also. Now again we will move forward in this string also and in this string also. We will check if this c is present, and or means if c is equals to this or not. It is not, so we will again move forward. We will compare both of these. It is not equal. Again we will move here. We see that this c is equals to this, like this last value, right? So again this will increment. Now the thing is, we have reached the end of this string, but if this condition will be true, it will be again incremented, right? So what is happening here is, I am starting from 0, right? The I value is starting from 0, it is becoming 1 here, right? Then it is becoming 2 here, and once I am getting the last value, it is becoming equals to 3. Now I see that if the string s is a subsequence of t, then my I is becoming equals to the length of this string, right? So what I have to check, if I am getting the I as the length of s, then it is a subsequence, right? If it is not, then we will simply return false. Now let's see the pseudocode. Okay, so as we saw in the approach, we will be iterating on both the strings simultaneously, but we need to keep a check that we don't reach out of range in any of the string, right? Because there is a chance that, let's say we have s as abc and t is abcd. Okay, so I have reached the end of this string, okay, this string, and I have d also here. If I will move any more forward, I will receive an error here, right? I will get an error that index is out of range, and this I also don't need to like check for this string, right? Because after reaching the end of this string, I know that the answer will be true, right? So I need to keep a check on both the strings, that once I reach the end of any of these strings, I need to move out of the loop. So what I will do is, let's say I have n which is storing the length of the string s, and m which is storing the length of string t. Let's take two variables i and j. Now what I will do is, I will start the iteration, and this I will go till less than n and j will go till less than m. Okay, so we will only continue till we have any of the string, like we have not reached the end of in any of the one string. Okay, so after this what I have to check, I will check if the value or if the character at ith index in s is equals to the character at jth index in t, right? Then only I have to increment the value of I. Why only I? Because once I have matched the value or matched the character and I have got a true value, then only I can increment the value in this. Otherwise I cannot move any more forward, right? As we saw in the approach, we were only moving forward in s once we found that we have that same character in t also. Then only we will move I in the, like we will increment the value of I. But j was moving forward, right, every time, so we will increment the value of j every time. Now as we saw that once we have reached the end, like we reach the end of any string, and if I reach the end of this string s, that means that my I value will become equals to the n according to this, right? Otherwise it will not be equals to n. So I will check the condition here. If the value of this I, if the value of this I is equals to n, then only I will be returning true. Otherwise I will return false. Okay, so this is what we have to do in this question. So now let's move on to the code editor and we will run the code there. So let's see the code now. Okay, I will be declaring both I and j, which we will be using for iteration. So let's go with that. Now we will have n and m. We will use this to store the length of s and t. Okay, so let's take the length. Now after this we will start the iteration. So we will check for I, which will be less than n, and j will be less than m. After this we will check if the s of I is equals to t of j. Then we will increment the value of I by 1, and j will be incremented every time, right? So we will increment the value of j every time. Now what we will do, we will check if the value of I become equals to n, then we will return true. Otherwise we will simply return false. So now let's try to run this code. The sample test cases have passed. Let's try to submit it. So this code has been accepted. That's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please let me know in the comments, and in case you have any doubts, let me know in the comments too. I will try to clarify it. And in order to continue with me in this coding journey, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification so you will be notified every time I post a new video. Thank you for watching.